We doing this? Oh yes, we certainly are. It's the end of 2025, or beginning of 2026, depending on when this is up. And, well, this is the 1-year anniversary of my first big video, I'd say. That being Kirby and the Amazing Mirror without pressing right. And even if the audio in that video isn't very great,
he was having a normal walk. And then Dark Meta Knight randomly shows up and slams his sword right onto Kirby's skull.
And I regret not recording it on my phone. I still believe it is some of the best content that I've ever created. But this video is about Amazing Mirror's sister game, Kirby Squeak Squad. The reason I say sister game is because this is the only other Kirby game made by Flagship. So I thought it'd be a decent jumping off point, given it's likely I will go through every Kirby game and attempt the same challenge, or at least most of them. Anyways, Kirby Squeak Squad is quite possibly baby's first Kirby game, which features Kirby having to stop the evil Mickey Mouse Clubhouse army after being informed of a very important anime figurine that was stolen from King Triple Deluxe. Also, something about cake, but I hate power scalers, and entertaining them is something that I don't want to do. Anyways, a creature was also inside the Amazon package named Dark Nebula, and he casted an evil spell that made Kirby unable to move in a specific direction for some reason. So yeah, is it possible to beat? Hey guys, it's me, Dark Nebula. What? Dark Nebula, what are you doing here? Oh, you know, I just gotta visit my best friend from elementary school, Carbon Carpool Dioxide. Well, it's nice to see you, buddy. But, unfortunately, I'm gonna have Kirby kill you. Goodbye! What? Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, can you beat Kirby Squeak Squad without pressing right? This game is functionally just an Amazing Mirror 2, but it has some quirks that could make this way easier, so I'll just adjust the rules, just to make it more painful for myself. Rule 1 is extremely obvious, but under no circumstances is the right button allowed to be used unless it is a required press. No matter how difficult, I will at least attempt every room with every option that is available to me at that specific time, unless I can't access it. This is best shown in level 1. Hypothetically, I would be able to come back to this level with a different copy ability and say, yeah, I could beat this level with said ability, but that is not allowed because the first entrance doesn't provide me with anything. This does make the level impossible though, but to explain further, we have to go to Rule 2. This might just seem like a random addition, which it kind of is, but Right Press storage from the last challenge is not allowed to carry over rooms. So let's just look at level 1 again. First room can be beaten with holding right, but after that room I have to unpress the right button, and if room 2 requires one right press, then that just adds to the count. And finally, Rule 3, pretty much everything else is allowed, unless I add a spontaneous rule out of nowhere. As for World 1, I already explained the story, so let's just jump on in and ignore it. We are just stuck. Yeah, no, we're just stuck here. We only have one move to go to the right as Kirby, that being his slide kick. This moves at a set distance and cannot be changed. It also doesn't carry momentum unless it is used off a cliff. This will be important. And since we can't go right while jumping, we are stuck here, leading to the first right press of the challenge. I kind of expected this to happen, so I'm not beat up on it. And I kind of expect more trouble going forward. Speaking of, next room is actually possible Rightless, which introduces me to fire. Which, yeah, this is the game to merge burning and fire, which means it's useless in this challenge. So screw this Cubert-looking motherfucker. Also, good time to mention that most doors do face me to the right after I enter them, so this is an obvious good thing. And the final room of level 1 is impossible, which adds 1 more right press to the count, leaving me with 2 for the first level. Thanks, water! Alright, so this game is set up into levels, and frankly, some of the levels are just more worth talking about than others. So if you notice me saying stuff like, oh, 2-1 is easy, or 2-4 is easy, and I just skip past them, that means that they were possible with little to no issue. 1-2 is easy. This room would be impossible, but getting hit by enemies actually can swap the way you are facing, which made it possible. Even though I did say 1-2 is easy, it does introduce me to the game's main gimmick, the bubble system. You can pick up items in these things called bubbles, which fit into 3 categories: items, copy abilities, and chests. Chests are dead weight. Items are also kind of dead weight, just being health restores, mini Kirbys, which can become a 1-up, invincibility candy, and a star that grows into like a bigger star that deals more damage. It could be useful, I would say. And finally, the most important one, the ability to store copies abilities makes this challenge extremely lenient in places, especially if I need to use a relatively bad copy ability to get a chest. Anyways, 1-3 is also easy, but it's important, again, because it introduces the first mix of the challenge. Mixing copy ability bubbles allows you to get different copy abilities. No duh. Which I do for the first time here, opting for the yellow aura. Each time you shake both the bubbles, a different aura appears. For example, green gives you electric-based moves, white gives you cutting-based moves, and yellow is the most interesting, giving a pool of bubble, animal, metal, and finally, ninja. I won't even discuss the other 3 because ninja is the immediate go-to ability of the challenge, barring the obvious reigning champion, which we'll get to. Ninja is a rare ability which allows you to flip your direction so long as there is a wall, similar to Missile. But unlike Missile, Ninja has control and grace and is much easier to work with. You have the ability to cut ropes, and later you can actually melt metal blocks with a fire-based move. This is a great ability for the rest of the run, and makes, let's see, 1-3 a joke, barring the one chest that requires animal, which took some damage turning to get, 1-4, and 1-5, and even the boss of the world, King Dedede, which is kind of a joke, not gonna lie. But with Ninja, everything becomes a downward kick and a dream. Also, 1-4 introduces the Squeaks, but only one of them is really relevant and useful for the challenge, so I'll bring it up when relevant.
You're getting a raise!
King whatever his name is defeated and Kirby pulls a gun on him. And then the king is like, no, it was the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse who took your shit. Please leave me alone, Kirby. And then Kirby is like, alright, I'll go find them. But then they bust in and they steal a big chest, and the leader, Mickey Mouse, is like, haha, Kirby, come get this Amazon package, you loser. So then Kirby goes after them, ready to jump them. And then we are immediately thrown into level 2-1. It is a relatively difficult level in some aspects, and isn't a complete gimme like World 1. More specifically, this room was a nightmare. I mean, not too difficult, but they made me want to die, so it's worth a mention. It's filled with enemies, and my greed for chests made it so it was really hard. Okay, now the final room we get introduced to the last 2 things I need to yap about before we get to the full context of like this game, so I don't have to go on random tangents. Like, I can actually just talk about the levels now. Okay, first, these chests. You might have noticed them, but this one is special. As you can see, this chest has a sparkling aura, which means it is absolutely required to progress through the game. It contains a star seal, which will be used later on to break something and continue the progression of the game. These are ultra important to pick up, and more importantly, if I don't get all of them, then I literally cannot progress until I find them. Second of which, I would say more important, I decided to reset the level and try to reroll for more ninjas when I accidentally notice I was just teleported to a throne room, and I am greeted by the king of all Rightless challenges, Tornado. And if you remember last challenge, you'll know that Tornado was the unsung king of everything, pretty much breaking the game open with what is and isn't possible. And here is no different, except it received 2 sizable buffs, just making it even better. It can bounce off screen borders, which it couldn't do before, requiring an actual wall to bounce off of, and now it can break star and bomb blocks, which makes a lot of things possible that weren't previously possible in the previous challenge. It's nice to see you back, buddy. Let's get back to the challenge. This chest is now possible with the NATO, and the funnel room is easy as well, making another Rightless level possible. 2-2 is easy. 2-3 is also easy, but this room was possible with Bubble, which I thought was kind of cool. 2-4 is easy. 2-5, on the other hand, this one's actually interesting. The first room required some good movement, which was a lot of slide kick momentum holding and ninja kicks to make it through. The flame pillars were hard to get consistently, but you can really just go in from the left and turn around no problem. I lose ninja at some point, and I go into the boss without even realizing that I actually had 2 copy abilities in my bubble area, which I could mix. And after beating the boss with Cutter, I swapped to Wheel, wasting the fact that I could just make ninja again. I'm a bit of a dumbass. Anyways, here's where shit gets good. Introducing Fighter. Fighter is way more interesting in this game because it's a lot more slippery, which allows you to move way faster. I still view this ability as extremely useful, even if it can't turn right on its own. The kicks work similar to ninjas, and it has a lot more fun shenanigans, which make it a blast to play with. Okay, with all that build-up, the last room was one of, if not the hardest rooms in this challenge so far. It's very, very specific as to why. You were put on a time limit to catch up to Spinny, which is the ninja rat of all of them. And all is good until you reach this very specific button. This button took me 15 minutes to get past once. Each attempt took around 10 seconds to do, so I had to do this trick around, at least 100 times, just to get a handful of successful runs. This button has a very short time limit, and I'm pretty sure with Tornado it would be impossible to pass, so Fighter was my only option, except for maybe Wheel. It was really just trial and error, this being my best run, and even then the door was closing. Thankfully, the rest was easy, and I took a sigh of relief. Also, this fucking clip is sick, I don't care. As for the boss, I got lucky and got invincibility candy, which, okay, yes, good, yes, good, yes, good, yes.
But, You're getting a raise!
Did you find the NES for Nintendo Switch? I have been trying to find the Wii U for years.
And now we continue the story. Kirby makes it to the clouds and was probably high, and dreaming of this, so, he gets distracted. Yeah. Evil Smoke Cloud Monster is here too, I guess. 3-1 is easy for the most part. This one chest was kind of funny since it very clearly requires laser, but Ninja's kick hitbox extends over Kirby, so I can just use that. And chest 2 introduces the immediately useless throw ability. That's kind of it. 3-2. Yeah, that's a right press. Which sucks because after this room, the level is easy and possible, and it also gives me the second of 5-star seal chests. 3-3 has a funny room, where I immediately kill this golden Waddle Dee with Tornado. That's it. Oh, and I struggled attempting to get this big chest because I had no luck with it. I probably could get it with Ninja. I don't care. 3-4 has this race section, which was hard. Took me 4 attempts, but I got all the chests. Dude, this world is easy. Like, I genuinely have nothing else to say. This world is easy. 3-5 is easy, and the boss is just a tornado sweep. It literally gives you an option to pick Tornado at the beginning. So yeah, Krako's bitch ass gets lynched for existing for the millionth time as expected, and we're on to...
You're getting a raise!
Kirby finally gets clean and goes to rehab before continuing his adventure. He makes it to the forest area thing, and he knows to go there because he hears the mice blasting Iron Mouse and Mickey Mouse Funk. 4-1 is baby shit. There's some funny moments with this laser puzzle, just being able to be in with Tornado, but that's it. 4-2, thankfully, has more going on. It starts with this bush-covered room. Fun, I just plow through it with Tornado. Same thing for room 2. Room 3 is where I decided to pick up Ninja, as I viewed it as more useful, which indeed it was, allowing me to grab this chest and to move into another race against Spinny. I needed to win this race because it was for the 3rd Star Seal chest. It was a bit tough to the geometry, and I had lost Ninja a few times. Thankfully, Spinny has 2 different copy abilities he can drop, one being Ninja, so it just made my life easier and made the level possible. The string of more interesting levels continue with Floor Dash 3. This level requires you to take specific paths if you want to get all the chests, which overall aren't much of a struggle. And, oh, right, this room. Literally, what do you want me to say? Should I say the obvious? Yes, this room requires a right press. I fucking hate water in this game. In all Kirby games. Take the top route for the chest in this room, and it's annoying. Not impossible, just annoying, but the chest is mine and the rest of the level is easy. 4-4 is hard, or I might actually just be stupid, because this level is actually pretty difficult for a possible level, and in this game in general, this Golden Waddle Dee was relatively hard to catch up to, taking me a handful of attempts to actually get a successful run. This room was very precise with Tornado and had copy ability destroying plasma everywhere. Thankfully, I got the scroll that allowed Tornado to merge with elements and not get hurt by them. And at least Mr. Frosty was easy and possible. Much like a lot of other levels prior, I wasn't able to get all the chests here unfortunately, and I'm probably gonna have to go back here if I do a 100% run of this game. And finally, 4-5 is a short level. Much like a lot of last levels in this game, they're very short and only have 1 chest. Thankfully, I did get really lucky on my first try here. As for the boss, yeah, that's literally the boss. That's literally it. Oh my god, this game's fucking easy. Speaking of, that's the end of World 4, and, well, that's the end of Part 1. Yeah, I know, I don't like doing this. But my video uploading schedule is horrid enough, so I don't really want to put this off much longer. So, yeah, next part should be the next video that I make. So yeah, let's just go to the outro. And that's the end of Part 1. Thank you all for watching this video, and if you haven't, please subscribe, hit that bell, and like if you want to. This challenge is going to be fairly easy, I would say. I'd say, like, the later levels. This first part was kind of me just talking about, like, actual things that would be important for later in the challenge. Unfortunately, this game is very easy, which is why the game is so polarizing, I would say. But, yeah, hopefully the game does pick up in difficulty at some point. Either way, my name is Carbon. I hate the fucking Kirby series. See ya! Goodbye!
Yes.
Where did you find the NES for Nintendo Switch? I have been trying to find the Wii U for years.
Oh!